Well, hi, boys and girls. Well, this isn't our Sabbath school video because we're having Sabbath school now each week right at the church. And I hope that you're coming to Sabbath school. Maybe you'll be coming this Sabbath. And I just wanted to tell you a story before Sabbath school time. So I hope that you enjoy it. This is our front yard, and we get a nice, beautiful picture of Castle Rock here. Can you see it? There's the mountains that you see when you're going down the street down Western Avenue, and we live very close to it. And so I thought we would walk around my backyard today. Okay, let's just walk around my backyard, and I want to show you. Oh, this is a nice plant. Where is that? Let me show you. Here's a nice plant right here. Where'd it go? There. I'm not good at filming things. There it is. Yeah. And Mr. Romer and Mrs. Romer, they gave us this plant, and it was really small, and now it's nice and big. I really like my yard, and I wanted to share it with you today. And so along here we have a path. And when we bought this house, all the grass had grown over this path, and I had to dig it all up so that we could find this path. And the path goes all the way around the back of my house, and it's really pretty. We have a beautiful yard here. I hope you enjoy it. Here's some wild roses. This wild rose bush. I don't have to take care of this at all. It just takes care of itself. And it's really pretty. We have a lot of roses on it, and it's really nice. I do have to mow the lawn, and I have to edge it a lot. But anyway, so here we are, and we have this beautiful lawn that wraps all the way around the back of my house. Can you see that? It goes all the way around, and I have this big, all of this foresty stuff here. It's really, really pretty, and I really like it. Well, anyway, so I wanted to take you around, and oh, I wanted to show you this. All of this vine here that grows on top of the portico that I have, or whatever you call this. There's a word for it. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, all this vine, it keeps growing. It has long pieces that shoot out and they dangle everywhere. And I always have to trim that. And I'm glad that fall has come because now they're not growing very much. And all those leaves are going to get, they'll turn color and then they'll fall off and I can rake them up and everything. But man, that's a lot of work that I have to put in just to keep everything nice and clean, and also mowing this lawn. Oh, well, that's a lot of work, but I sure like it because it looks so pretty. This is a tree that all the colors are turning right now. All the colors are turning in this tree, but when it comes out, it actually they're purple. They're purple leaves, and before the leaves actually form in the spring, it's very bright pink. The whole tree turns pink because all of the little pieces are just growing. They're just getting started. Whole tree turns pink. It's my favorite tree in in my whole yard. I call it the tree in the middle of the garden. That's a term that the Bible uses about the tree of life in the middle of the garden of Eden. And so anyway, that's what I call that one because it's so pretty. It's so nice, and all of its tree leaves are going to fall off, and I'll have to rake them up. They're already starting back there. Can you see that? Well, anyway, so my yard comes all the way around here, all the way around, and it goes to the other side of the house over here, and I have a lawn right here that I have to mow, and then also down here I have another lawn that's a little lower down there. And oh, that's a lot of work, but I sure do enjoy it, taking care of my yard. And I have some equipment to take care of it. You notice I normally I have flowers and beautiful plants right here, and they have yellow flowers and purple flowers, and I trimmed them all down, getting ready for fall, because that's what you're supposed to do. I was told by Mrs. Coughlin. She told me all about how to do it. So I'm trying to take care of my yard. And okay, well, I wanted to take you all around. Oh, I want to show you something else that I just saw, that I just discovered. We have a bunch of berries in this plant. Can you see that? All of these beautiful berries. Now this is kind of a prickly plant because I don't know why, but it has beautiful berries. Look at these berries right here. Can you see them? Oh, they're so pretty. I can't get them just right for you. Oh, but they're so pretty. And those berries will be delicious for the quail that lives all around here. We have hundreds of quail who live around our yard and in our neighborhood, and I'm going to tell you a story about them in just a minute or so that I really enjoy about our quail coming to our yard. But anyway, so here's the rest of our yard from the bottom part. There's our shed right there where I store a number of things. And then let me take you up there. Let me just go ahead and take you up to this other tree. Can you see this tree up here? This tree is a beautiful tree. Right now it's not so pretty because it's starting to drop all of its leaves, you know, but there is something on that tree. Can you tell from this distance what's on that tree? Let's go over there and see. Can you see it now? Can you see them now? I'll do a little beauty shot behind the leaves. It has beautiful berries on it. Can you see how big these berries are? These berries, I really watered this tree well this year. I was proud of myself for doing that, I guess. And so because it got a lot of water, it grew a lot of berries. In fact, I'm a little worried that the limb of the tree isn't going to be able to hold them. But I hope it doesn't break off or something. But here's what's cool about this tree. This tree feeds all the quail in the neighborhood. Now, I'm sure some other neighbors have some trees like this or bushes that have berries on them, but the quail love my berries. They just love the berries here. And what they'll do, you see, here's our side fence right here. And what they'll do is they'll fly up onto this fence. Frankly, they go to another fence way back over there first, and we can see them from our bedroom. Not our bedroom, it's one of our rooms that we watch TV in. And so we'll see them, and they only come 2 times in the daytime. Once is right before the sun comes up, just as the light is starting to show out here. And if I'm in there studying for my sermon or something, that's where I have my office. I'm pointing right at my window of the house, and if I'm in there, I'll see them start lining up on this fence. It's the coolest thing in the world. They'll start lining up, and once a bunch of them are there, just a whole row of birds, they'll then start flying down here to the ground. And right here, right on the ground down here, they'll start walking around. And they'll be walking around looking for berries that have fallen off of this tree. Because sometimes they do that, right? And so some of them will be down here walking around the courtyard. I call it the courtyard. And a lot of them will go up in the tree. And they'll be hopping from branch to branch, eating just enough berries for their breakfast. And when all of the birds have been here for about 5 and no more than 10 minutes, they all start congregating back down here on the ground. They all go to the ground. And then from the ground, they start moving toward my shed. Here's my shed. I'm taking you in circles here. But they start moving over toward the shed, and then they jump up onto the roof of the shed. And once a few of them are on there, they start taking off into the trees up here. And then I don't see them again all day long. I don't see the quail. Well, some of them like to hang around out in my front yard. I have a bunch of bushes you might have seen, and they like to hang around under those. But most of the day, you won't see them in the backyard. They're all either out front or they're somewhere else in the neighborhood. But then when sunset comes, when the sun's about to go down and it's still kind of light out here, then I will look out our window, because we hang around in that room a lot of the day and a lot of the evenings and mornings. And so we'll look out the window, and sure enough, here they are. And they're climbing up on this fence again, and they all line up. And it's the coolest thing to see them. And then I know what they're going to do. They jump down to the courtyard floor, and then they hang around here looking for berries that have fallen from this tree. And then a bunch more will jump back up into the tree, and they'll start hopping around getting their supper. So they come here for breakfast, and they come here for supper, and then they take off. And they're not here more than 5 or 10 minutes. So they have their own schedules that they keep all day long. Isn't that the funniest thing? And it's kind of like you and me. You know, we like to have breakfast at the right time of the day and lunch and then supper. But all I see our quail doing is eating breakfast and supper. And they come to our house for breakfast and supper. Isn't that cool? Well, I wanted to show you my shed because my shed is a very special place. I keep all of my I keep all of my tools in my shed, and some of them I keep up in the garage. We have a very angry bird up in that tree up there making a lot of noise today. Well, anyway, so my shed is where I keep all of my tools to take care of my yard, right? And I don't think you're going to be able to see very well in there, but you can kind of see that we store our kayaks in there. Miss Julie and I have kayaks, and we like to go out. And then also you'll see my mower is in there, and there's our snow blower. I'm going to have to get that out this winter. But then I have tools on the walls, and I have my trimmer, my electric trimmer, and my weed whacker, and I have a chainsaw because I have to chop a lot of wood. And I store everything in here for winter so that they don't get, you know, they don't fall apart on me, and the weather doesn't hurt them or anything. But we have a whole lot of logs. I still have to cut these into logs for my neighbor so he can use them for his fireplace. And but I store all of my stuff right here in my shed, and that way it's protected. But the truth is, it still falls apart over time. You know, all of the things I store in there, they fall apart, and they get rusted out sometimes because they had water on them when I put them away, or you know, I don't have a lock on my shed door. Fortunately, it's a very safe neighborhood, but you know, without a lock, someone could come in and steal whatever I have. You know, they never have because it's a pretty safe neighborhood, but it's possible they could come in and steal the stuff. Or, you know, my neighbor was telling me that he has had raccoons come in here. Have you had raccoons come in to your yard or into your shed and cause some trouble? Like rats, you know, some people have rats that come around, and we haven't had that, but my neighbor has talked about how they've hung around in the trees here, and you know, they can do damage to your equipment and the things that you have. They go in there and they wet all over it, or they chew through things. They chew through bags and other equipment and electrical wires, and they can make a real mess there. And I thought about that this morning, and this is why I wanted to share this with you, because in the Bible, Jesus says something about where you store your treasures, the things that are important to you. And Jesus said, don't store your treasures up on earth. Don't work so hard and make so many things so important to you that you forget what's really important in life. He said, store up for yourselves, don't store up for yourselves treasures on earth, because the rats may come in, and the rust may hurt them, or the thieves could come in and take them, right? Those things are not nearly as important as some other things that Jesus wanted us to make sure that that we stored up. He said, store up for yourself treasures in heaven. In heaven. Now, how do you store up treasures in heaven? And he later said, well, first of all, he said, if you do that, thieves can't steal those things. They're in heaven. And rats can't mess them up, you know, and rust can't overtake them, right? Store things up in heaven, the things that are most important. What he was basically saying was simply that make the things of God the most important things in your life. Pay closer attention to those things, and be serious about those things, and focus on those things, the things that Jesus teaches you to do in your life, the thoughts that Jesus wants you to have, the people that you should be hanging around with, all of those things that are good for you. Focus on those things. Store up your treasures in heaven means to make the things that are important to God the things that are important to you. Does that make sense? Well, and that's found in Matthew 6:19 and 20, by the way, and you can look that up, and maybe your mom or dad can help you learn more about that. Well, I hope that's been a good story. Thanks for taking a little tour. Sadie was too cold to come out, our little doggy Sadie, and she was too cold to come out with me and chase the ball. I wanted her to do that. But anyway, I hope you have a good Sabbath. I hope everything works out well for you and that you enjoy Sabbath school. So I hope to see you there tomorrow. I'm recording this on Friday, so I hope that I can see you tomorrow at church, okay? Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.